I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Brianna Jones.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew and Brie to like musical theater. And you guys, we've got an extra super special guest today.
Ooh, a very special guest? Are we choosing them?
Yes, we're choosing our guests. It isn't a recurring guest. This is a brand spanking new guest. This is not a slightly used guest. This is brand new. Please join me in welcoming comedian, musician, composer, lyricist, singer, and Pokémon master Garrett Snook, aka Il Neige. Thank you very much for having me. Yay! We've tried to make this work so many times, so I'm glad you're here.
Same. Sorry. Right after we made plans for this, my work schedule changed, so it was like months of planning.
It all came together. It all worked out for the best. And I'm super happy to have you here because we're talking about this niche thing that probably no one even talks about. You know, it's like this thing in the late 90s, early aughts that was a thing for a minute and then disappeared completely. Yeah. It definitely does not have a thriving fan base that is still very, very going on to this very day.
It's kind of like Digimon, I think.
Yeah, I was definitely riding the Yu-Gi-Oh train, I think.
We're being facetious. This thing is a monster that'll never end. It is Pokémon Live, the stage musical. Cue the music, Brie.
What kind of Pokémon are you? How do you do the things you do? Share with me your secrets deep inside. What kind of Pokémon are you? Are you loyal through and through? And do you have a heart that's true? What kind of Pokémon are you?
So Pokémon Live, it was written by Michael Slade, with music and lyrics by John Siegler, John Loeffler, Norman J. Gosfield, Luis Cortez-Lezzi, Ken Cummings, Neil Jason, Bob Mayo, and Michael Whalen, based on Pokémon the original series, not the animes that would come after that, which are much, much more intense. It premiered on Broadway at the Radio City Music Hall on September of 2000, and then toured the United States and Canada. The plot of which, Pikachu in the flesh, Ash out of animation. We're talking about Pokémon Live. Join Ash, Pikachu, and many more of your favorite Pokémon characters as they take the stage in an all-new live adventure. Ash, Misty, and Brock face off against their arch-rivals Team Rocket in this live-action adventure, which features many of the songs from the Pokémon TV series and movies, as well as new songs specifically written for the musical. The show was designed to overload viewers' senses with amazing special effects and convincingly realistic Pokémon costumes.
True.
An actual press release said all those words.
I couldn't believe that they've really got Pikachu on stage.
He's so hot right now.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds.
I had no idea that this premiered on Broadway, much less like touched Broadway.
Yeah. That's where I got started.
It's a Broadway show. This is a real Broadway show.
They
really
though.
did it.
The puppet designer is straight from The Lion King. Like, the one that did all the costumes and puppets was working with Julie Taymor on The Lion King on all their stuff.
That's how it was so good. That's why it looks so good.
Well, do you want me to go into the history of this? Because I've got a whole backstory ready for you guys to contextualize so much. So, this is all from a Game Informer interview with Michael Slade shortly before he died. I think he died in 2020. Where he described the entire process of writing the Pokemon musical. He was brought in late April, early May, to be a possible writer for Pokemon. He got the VHS of Pokemon the first movie, the only thing of Pokemon he ever watched. He watched it twice, and his opinion...
That's the only thing you need, right?
That's really all you need to know. He watched it twice, and his first reaction was, I don't know what kind of drugs they're on. Then he did drugs, and watched it a third time. He's like, I get it now. In his own words. These are his own words.
Understandable.
He reached back out, and they're like, oh, we're planning to perform this at Radio City in the second week of September. He's like, it's April now. When do you need a script from me? Because I have a general idea of how plays work, and you kind of need more prep time. They're like, we want the first draft of Act 1 a week from today, and the draft of Act 2 the week from that day. He's like, all right. I will do it. And he crunched the script out in record time. And there was so much mess behind the scenes that he's just watching. He's like, for kids was like the best, but then the Japanese people that ran the actual proper Pokemon side had very specific needs. Like they'd have these Pikachus designed, and then they'd be like a small person, about 4 feet, let's say. And the Japanese people are like, Pikachu is 18 inches, and they're like, wow, you gonna find a human that size? They're like, can't you do a puppet or a robot? They're like, not in the budget and time frame we've got.
The fact that they went straight to robot, like...
and also
Put a robot on stage. Come
the
on.
Japanese actress who does the voice for Pikachu has say in how Pikachu can say any line and when they can say it. They have script approval. So they wrote this entire script with the assumption that Pikachu can say whatever they want whenever they want because it's just Pika Pikas. And then
Yeah.
Pikachu's actress had notes 2 weeks before they went on stage at Radio City.
My goodness.
It's Pikachu. They don't even have lines.
Yeah.
I thought
And
it was just they just say their name over and over.
So the only thing they had to go on was the Pokemon the first movie. So they pull all the things that you get. You get the Mewtwo's, you get the Mecha Mewtwo, you get the Giovanni, who has a very small role in the Pokemon first movie. Pull all those elements and basically make this a stage show sequel to the first movie. And in his original writings, he made it explicit that Giovanni is Ash's birth father.
Yes.
And he was still able to keep a big implication of that in this show, I think. I think it's more than implied.
It's definitely more than implied.
You
Although
see
they do specifically say that it's not, even though that's heavily implied that it is.
No, you see, Ash, I used to be friends with Giovanni. Then I met your father, and I left that life
Before I
behind
met your
me.
father, you know. But
Your
forgive me if
deadbeat
I'm wrong.
dad.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett, but Ash's father wasn't really a presence in the TV show. Like, he wasn't like a figure that's like, oh, he wasn't an Uncle Ben figure that he's trying to avenge or anything like.
No, he's mentioned like once, but in the fashion of most anime dads, he is absolutely absentee. Like, and again, like I don't even know if this was like a dub-only edition. Like the second episode, I think his mom's like, "Oh, you're just like your dad when he set out on his journey." And for 25 years
came-
since,
no,
I've
never
wondered
came
what
back.
his journey to get some cigarettes.
Just go to the store, get some
so-
Pokemons.
There was a lot of dumb minutia, like the way they were able to get away with that Pikachu argument, where Pikachu's 18 inches. They're like, well, we don't have actual 10-year-olds playing Ash, Brock, and Misty, so they could be a little taller, and then we could tallen up Pikachu.
Yeah. If
Yeah, that makes
you know,
sense.
the height of a 10-year-old to the height of an adult, and then 18 inches to
3
like,
feet.
Smaller
4
adults.
feet.
I think that's maybe like Mickey Mouse height at Disneyland at that point.
What I'm saying is this show is a miracle that it even exists, considering didn't exist in April, put on Broadway in September.
I can't believe
That is quite a turnaround, honestly. I can't even
And
believe
that's not
they
just
got a
like the
product out.
script needed to be finished by September. The entire show had to be put on in September.
Were they even like working on the? Were they already working on the puppets at that point at least? Or
No, nothing. No one was hired yet. They knew, we know this person, Julie Taymor, we want this to be Lion King quality. They kept saying that. We want this to be at the same quality as Lion King. And they didn't have Lion King budget, so we got what we got.
I'm just
Lion
imagining
King.
too. Like you'd think, okay, well, Lion King, like very creative, very abstract representations of animals, and I'm thinking you could do that with Pokemon and have everybody like look like Gaijinkas, like DeviantArt fan art, but your target audience isn't gonna jive with that. Like they're not gonna accept Mewtwo as a tall guy in like a white trench coat. They just want the weird cat man.
And what else is there? There's some. Oh, if you've watched, have you ever watched the making of like propaganda piece they put up on YouTube?
I never saw that one. I was
Wait,
not
is
aware
this
that
made-
existed.
Made by the people that made it as like
Yes.
a promotional?
It was a promotional video they sent out to theaters to be like, no, this is a real show. Come on, let us come to your theater.
We have
And-
to turn a profit.
Everyone involved there. It was they wanted the songs to be strictly for the adults. They wanted the adults to enjoy the music and the kids to enjoy the Pokemon nonsense. So they wrote it to be adult contemporary rock songs to fit for the adults in the audience, and it does not jive with the tone in any way whatsoever.
I really like it. I think it's just a perfect mishmash of absolute garbage.
Now that history is done, and the bootleg that's up there was uploaded by the unit production manager as well as all the scripts for the show. So that was done by someone that worked on the show.
The world must know. Remember our hubris.
Literally, that's the vibe. So Garrett, what's your history with this show? Because you suggested we talk about this.
Indeed. So I never saw the official production as a kid. I remember seeing ads. That was about it. I think this was right about the time where, I think this was like early aughts that this went up.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, so that was right at I think the first generation of kids were starting to kind of get out of it. So yeah, this is all a very long-winded way of saying I never saw it in theaters, but come college, my roommate was the kid who never stopped being in Pokemon. He didn't have to relapse. He just kept the passion alive for most of his life. And then on campus, we had a designated player society. It was just independent student run, mostly existed to do Rocky Horror every year. But come spring semester of 2012, the suggestion is floated, hey, I got access to the script for this god-awful Pokemon musical. What if we did that?
I like these people. I like the vibe of these people.
Yeah. So using, I think, an earlier draft, this was still post several rewrites, but compare it to the version that's on YouTube, there's still some differences there, mostly just in dialogue. All the songs are still there. We took that, we added some rude humor and some memes, like there's at least one "We'll Do It Live" reference in there.
2012.
Yeah.
And for lack of access to proper instrumentals, we just lip-synced to everything.
That sounds incredible.
Honestly,
Is there any
probably
footage of
was
this?
better.
It is on YouTube. You can find it.
Hell yeah.
I'm
You
sure
know
it's
what? Send
better
us a
than
link.
what we
We'll post it along with this episode. That sounds incredible.
You'll get to hear my awful Christopher Walken impression.
I mean, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's wonderful.
It's passable. Yeah, me and my friend Josh, we had been cast as Mewtwo and Mecha Mewtwo respectively, mostly because we were tall and looked similar. But I couldn't do, I had too much respect for the work of Jay Goad, the original voice of Mewtwo, and I could not match that intensity. So I thought, okay, I'll make him Christopher Walken, I guess.
Oh,
Because then I guess it's at least a joke.
Was there a mecha Christopher Walken then?
Nah, he was just a guy wearing a hubcap on his chest.
I mean, even Mecha Mewtwo in the show has a female voice. It is nothing like Mewtwo.
Yep. Self-destruct initiated. It honestly sounds like Hartman's Asimo voice.
Yeah. This is
So, Andrew, I'm curious. Did you like Pokemon as a kid? Were you a Pokemon kid?
Oh no, I know nothing about Pokemon.
Okay.
No, I've never played one of the games or anything.
And you never got the other propaganda VHS in the mail then?
No.
What was that?
Oh, when they were gearing up to finally start airing it, they did one of those. It was kind of the stuff like Nintendo Power would send around to get hype, but it's Team Rocket, it's me, your boss. What's going on, boss? All these kids are learning about Pokemon. We have to get to the Pokemon before they can get the comic books and the animated series and the toys and the video games.
I 100% watched that VHS. I know, as soon as you did that voice in that, I know exactly what you're talking about. My brother was a big Pokemon person. He's much bigger a gamer than I ever was. So I kind of got first generation Pokemon shit in my head because of that. So I'm aware of Ash and Misty and Brock and their character traits and all of that. So going into here, I wasn't totally blinded or any of that. And then I rewatched your Pokemon videos to be like, all right, am I missing anything? And then there's suddenly new.
I apologize for the voiceover quality on most of those.
Yeah, I got to learn about the Pokemon. It doesn't matter.
Okay, fair. I looked back at those. I'm like, ugh, that was when I was still recording on a blue snowball and didn't know how to master audio.
I mean, you got to start somewhere. We all compare our first episodes to our current episodes, and our episodes in 10 years from now, if we're still doing this for some reason.
Oh, you better be. When we can talk about Pokemon Live again, revisited. The revival is coming. Just keep the faith.
I'm into it. Bree, what was your relationship? Did you have any connection to Pokemon when you were little, Bree?
So my brother, who is 9 years older than me, maybe 7 years, I don't know. He was really into Pokemon. He had all the cards, watched the show, but me, myself, no, I couldn't touch the Pokemon cards. I wasn't involved in that world. But so I know of Pokemon, but I was never like the huge fan like my brother was.
I guess the only claim to fame I have is I 100% saw Pokemon 2000 in theater and got that stupid little chip and that stupid card.
Dude, that card is like, that's like I have it back there. It's in a frame.
Really? Is that expensive? I know it's
No,
around
they're
here
really
somewhere.
easy to find. Like,
Okay.
they're not expensive. I just love that artwork.
Yeah, that card's really cool. That movie is nonsense.
Yes, it is.
Even, I think I had to have been 5 when that movie came out. I knew at the time, like, this is nonsense. Can we go back to the Pikachu Vacation opening short, please?
No, we have to awaken the ocean god and find the orbs, and we're never gonna learn the villain's name, but that's fine.
I remember Ash was the chosen one, and that narrative wasn't dead out yet.
Right.
Wasn't blood dry.
That's what's funny is that's dub only, because I think in the original Japanese he just rises to the occasion, but 4Kids in their infinite wisdom decided, what if we made him the chosen one via pun? Like,
Frozen one.
the Guardian's song will fail, thus the earth shall turn to ash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cringe.
But also, right now I feel more like the Frozen one.
What? Hold on. What? So, let's get back to Pokemon Live for a second.
Yes, sorry.
I
No,
wanna talk about
because
Pokemon
that
Live.
triggered something in my synapses there. Like, Mew appears for like 5 seconds in this stage show. Am I right? During Misty's...
But we haven't even talked about what happens in the stage.
You know
show.
what, Andrew? You make a good point. Tell us the plot of Pokemon Live, please, as
Because
an
I may
uninitiated.
not have grown up with Ash, Misty, and Brock and all them, but I know their characters now. You know, he loves Pokemons. He loves Pikachu. Misty loves Ash. That's her character trait. And
No.
Brock is a womanizer.
That was just a ship that was not confirmed until this
No,
stage
it
show.
was confirmed. I saw it in the show. And then Brock, he just
real,
loves the
it's canon.
ladies. Yeah, Brock he's a ladies' man. He likes to sleep around with all the women he can find. They're all 10, right? They're all 10 years old.
I think
they're
Brock
all
is like
10 years old.
16. And Team Rocket are like in their early 20s.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so that's their general character traits, right? And
Yeah.
then Team Rocket is annoying. Okay.
Is he accurate, Garrett? I need to know.
He's not far off. I mean, that's basically... you forgot Misty is also mad sometimes.
Oh, about birthday party. Forgot her birthday.
So, Pokemon Live. There's the what is it, like a Diamond Challenger or something commercial that plays at the beginning? I don't remember. It's like a badge, gym
Yeah,
badge?
you get a badge for dog fighting, Andrew.
When you
Dogfighting
beat certain
badge.
very high caliber dog fighters, you get an enamel pin.
Yeah, and Ash is like, I gotta get the diamond badge because it's diamond, because that's sick. Like, I gotta get it. And so he goes and he tries to get it, but it turns out that Giovanni is tricking all these people because he's got the Mecha Mewtwo, which apparently is impervious to attacks because he can just learn the attack and then send it back and instantly kill every Pokemon it's fighting. So, and he wants to have it learn every attack possible, I guess. I don't... Apparently that's how you win in the Pokemon world. You just know all the attacks and you win.
It's like a cheat code for Pokemon dog fighting.
And the last
Game Shark.
Pokemon... The last Pokemon he needs is Pikachu, and Ash is the only person with a Pikachu. So he has to get Ash to come. And so he sends Team Rocket to go and kidnap Ash, and they do. And then he gets away, but he goes to Giovanni anyways. But then it turns out Giovanni is like his dad or something, but also that doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. They
He
just throw that
definitely
away.
fucked his mom, and that's all that matters.
That did happen, but it doesn't matter. Which is just forget about that. That's not important in the slightest. And then, just when all hope is lost and Mecha Mewtwo is going to learn everything, Mewtwo just shows up for no reason at all. And then Mecha Mewtwo uses Learn to learn how to love, and then blows himself up and dies. And then it's over. I mean, that one world, one heart, one friendship.
Loyal and true.
You
Loyal
and
and
me
true.
and Pokemon.
You and me and Pokemon. Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. Great, well-written story.
Yeah, for 2 weeks of work, I'd say that's a pretty effective story with some nuance and...
What a
Yeah.
thankless task.
I love that they just have Mewtwo just show up though. Just No exclamation, nothing. He's just there.
Hello, Giovanni. I have beaten you before. Ash, you don't know me, but we've met before. This time the boy has beaten you. No, Mewtwo, you beat him.
This time it will be the boy.
It is ridiculous. Is this canon, Garrett? This is an important question.
It must be.
You know
canon.
what? They erase his memory at the end anyway, so who's to say it's not?
Did they erase his memory again? Did Mewtwo really do that?
You know what?
I don't remember that.
I think he did in the Pokemon first movie, but
Yeah, in the draft of the script that my production, quote unquote, was working from.
Yes.
There's a scene where Mewtwo like has a little heart to heart with Ash, and then he says, "Now I gotta erase your memory again. Sorry." Then he
again?
leaves. But in this
Spider-Man spoilers.
Yeah, in the version that made it to stage though, just an explosion happens, and then Ash wakes up surrounded, and they Wizard of Oz it. Like everything still happened, but nobody remembers that Mewtwo showed up.
One world.
Everything changes. Different song.
Oh my god. So, Andrew, do you genuinely like this show? Or do you like it in the way that you kind of ironically like something?
I mean, this is definitely ironically. This is maybe one of the worst things we've ever watched. But it's also hilarious all the way through, except for whenever Team Rocket is around. They're like aggressively not funny.
Yeah, they're the reason a lot of people stopped watching the show in like the early aughts.
Really?
It's kind of sad because I think they're the only ones that are supposed to be funny.
Right? No, I have a couple of friends. They said, "Oh yeah, I stopped watching because it's like, oh, they dug another hole. Oh, they fell into the hole again. Oh, they got out of the hole and then they blasted off."
How do they keep blasting off? Do they not die?
There's free healthcare in the Pokemon world.
That's true. Only for Pokemon, I thought, though. Free
So,
veterinary
Garrett,
care.
I have some legitimate Pokemon questions that this show has brought about.
Hit me.
Oh, Lord.
What is the difference between dog fighting and Pokemon fighting? Do like Pokemon not get hurt, or when they're in the ball, do they suddenly like get healed or some stuff?
There's free healthcare in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah. The Pokemon like it, and it's only through their relationship with trainers that their true potential can be unlocked, and like the Pokemon just really like the fighting.
That sounds like a J.K. Rowling justifying slavery kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh
the
no,
elves,
this
they just like being enslaved.
This actually does get addressed in a later game. Pokemon Black and White, which came out in the later 2000s, the entire villain team's motivation on the surface is Pokemon liberation, because it's wrong to, use them for fighting. But it turns out, rather than actually grapple with the implications of this cause and these ideas, it turns out, no, they're called Team Plasma. Team Plasma's scheme is actually get rid of everyone else's Pokemon, then they'll be the only ones who have Pokemon. Yeah, so they're not.
Classic.
Yeah, don't actually address any of the points being made, regardless of their potential validity. Just turns
Don't
out they're
worry,
hypocrites.
guys. Yeah, they weren't real revolutionaries.
Yeah,
They
turns out Bane just wanted to blow up Gotham.
Haha, got him.
What's really great too is that at the time that came out, PETA made a fan game trying to use Pokemon as a vehicle for PETA stuff, but they unironically adopted the stance of Team Plasma. I'm like, they turned out to be the bad guys, right?
Well, they wouldn't have been the bad guys if they weren't completely hypocritical, though.
Right. Yeah,
So,
Much like PETA themselves.
right.
got them.
So really they are Team Plasma. Garrett, do you know all the Broadway caliber involved in this? Like Andrew Rannells played James in the original run of this, and he would go on to be in Book of Mormon and all those other things he's done.
I was not aware of that because I only knew him as eventually voicing a later. Several of these characters, I know them for their voice acting roles because what was the actor's name? Andrew Reynolds.
Yeah, Rannells. Yeah.
Yeah, so he went on to voice a character named Harley in a later season of Pokemon, who was. Which kind of fits because he's another, vaguely effeminate character who's constantly putting the football down so a character can kick it. It's always like, oh, it's me again, and I'm nice now. Whoops, turns out I still suck. Got him.
Oh, no.
And then the actor who played Giovanni would be the voice of Maximilian Pegasus when 4Kids dubbed Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wait, so these people worked on Pokemon Live, and then they were like, yeah, this is a franchise we need to stick with. We're going to stick around.
Well, the thing about Andrew Rannells is this might be a joke, but he is quoted saying, I would have rather have been in a porn or a snuff film than to have been in Pokemon Live. That might be a joke, but...
He did have to play one of the Team Rocket members, which means that he was maybe the worst role.
Right. Just
well,
we're gonna
in the
banter with
interviews
the
at the
children
time, he
and
sounds
get
really
nothing back
positive.
from them. It's like,
When I say Poke, you say Mon.
I'm tired.
My favorite is like when they pull kids out, like just some guy pulls kids out, and they're like, "What's is your dad a this or a Snorlax?" And he's like, "A Snorlax." Oh, great kid, get back in the audience.
Dude,
The audience participation flopped
they
so hard.
did not want to participate at all. And I think it was Team Rocket. They went up and they had to make fun of the audience for not wanting to participate, but it was really awkward because like usually they do that when the audience was participating and they want like a louder yell, but this one it was like they didn't say anything and they
You know,
wanted
the kids
like
in Milwaukee were way more cooperative.
Yeah.
it's like yeah, I'm sure they were. Did they say anything at all?
It was like, oh, we're Team Rocket. Okay, great. We're Team Rocket. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you got a crowd full of 10-year-olds, and like that's when the kids start to want to be like, "Don't look at me, don't interact with me, please."
I came here for the Mecha Mewtwo card and nothing else.
They wanted to go home and play Pokemon, and their parents were like, "I got you tickets for the Pokemon show."
And it wasn't real Ash. I mean, how do you think people did, like, in... Garrett, have you ever seen the actual recording?
Oh yeah, oh no, I have. Yeah, I mean, just as far as finding grown-ass adults to play 10 and however the hell old Brock is supposed to be, it's like, I guess, like short of, you know, getting someone who has that natural rasp, you're not going to find someone who can do Ash's voice every night. You listen to Veronica Taylor now, and doing it for how long as she did, like, irreparably changed her voice.
There was a girl in the touring production of Hedwig and the Angry Inch, who voices Ash.
Sarah Natacheni?
I think so. But she was playing Yitzhak in the touring production of Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and I'm like, man, wish they had just grabbed them back then and like just thrown them as Ash. That would have been really cool.
Weirdly
I think the only
prophetic.
one that really nails it is Misty. She kind of sounds like the Four Kids dub. But
Which,
Brock
like,
is
again,
just a guy.
because Misty was also voiced by a grown-ass adult woman. The same grown-ass adult woman who did Jessie and also Jigglypuff. Fun facts left and right. There you go.
I'm learning new things. Is it also true that they did an animation that gave kids seizures?
Yes, one of the episodes that never got dubbed just had, like, an electrical surge happens and then a brief, you know, flashing light sequence. Not even the only one the show ever had. I think it was just the most intense.
Oh, pretty crazy, man. These kids gotta watch what they're doing.
Yeah.
But you know what, Garrett? Who cares what we think? It's time for us to
boy.
compare our opinions to those of the most insane group of human beings ever collected on one website. It is time for Breviews, specifically Letterboxd, 1-star, 5-star, where I'm gonna read you a review. Bree and I are gonna read reviews, and you have to guess whether it was a 1-star review or a 5-star review.
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
So, there's a couple of them from Pokemon Live, but I've pulled from all the Pokemon movies
Oh, fantastic.
because there was not a wealth of positive reviews there.
Also, just because it's 5 stars doesn't mean it sounds positive when you're talking about this group of people.
Letterboxd is never good.
It doesn't
Bree,
make-
do
they
you want
don't
to be
make
on
sense.
Andrew's team or Garrett's team?
Andrew, we're
gonna do it?
We'll team up this
All right.
time.
All
Yeah.
All right, Garrett, you and I are Team Rocket. We're gonna blast off again.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'll let
be the
Bree go
cat.
first so you get a vibe of how this goes.
Alrighty.
It's Pokemon, but a musical.
I mean, it's obviously an actual review of Pokemon the musical, so 1 star. 1 star.
No, it's a 5-star.
They gave it a 5 stars?
They
They
did.
gave it a 5-star.
That's like a
gave it a
damning with
5
faint
stars.
praise 5-star.
How did you...
It's like, what do you expect? It's Pokemon,
read it
but a
in a-
musical.
I read it in a positive tone, Andrew.
All right, Garrett, you ready?
I'm ready.
Lickitung has a very wet tongue.
So that's for Detective Pikachu, I'm guessing. I'm gonna say that's a 5-star.
That is a 1-star.
Damn, they're horny but mad.
All right, Bree.
Brock gets pegged.
Another horny one, I see. Would I want to see that? 5 stars.
That is 5 stars.
All right.
Andrew, you're on the board.
Ooh, I'm on there.
Okay. Did I just watch Butler put Jirachi in a milking machine?
This is from Pokemon Movie 5, Jirachi the Wish... No, sorry, this is number 6. I'm gonna be that guy this whole time. Jirachi in a milking machine. You
So
know,
did
it's
they?
horny. I'm just gonna say it's 5 stars.
Yes.
It is. All right.
The horny ones are usually 5 stars, but
Yep.
they're not always.
Horny equals 5.
Are we evenly matched now? Were they
Yes.
finally got 1
1
on 1?
to
All
1.
right,
They're
Bree.
both on the board. All right.
Butler.
This is very telling of what I like about cinema.
They're saying they like it. 5 stars?
It is a 5-star.
God, you have to. They can say that they like it, and you still have to hope that it's not a 1 star.
All
Like
right,
they leave out
Garrett,
the
you
parts
ready?
like, I liked it, but I'm a filthy trash boy.
Well, speaking of filthy trash boy, this review is Mewtwo thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
I'm just gonna default a 5-star on all of these.
Is that your guess?
That's my guess.
All right, that is not correct. It was a
Damn.
1-star.
But Mewtwo do be thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
You really do, though.
Dang,
Especially
where
in
do
the musical.
Where do you get these horny ones where they're not happy about it?
What's funny is like I'm trying to guess like of the 3 major appearances of Mewtwo, which could that possibly be? Like it doesn't help.
Yeah. I think that was from Detective Pikachu. All right, Bree.
They called this one 2000, but it came out in 1999. That's false advertising. They won't get away with this.
Oh. I mean, they sound upset. So, 1 star? 1 star?
That's a 1-star.
All right, Garrett. There is no one who has watched this, not because of Andrew Rannells.
That's actually about this one.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. I thought like, did they mean Ryan Reynolds? No, Andrew Reynolds is a person. We talked about this. Damn. There's nobody who is not. I'm gonna call that a 1-star.
That is a 5-star.
Damn me.
You found 2 5 stars
Yes,
for the
I did.
musical?
It's actually mostly 5 stars. Because people are going there to be like, Andrew Rannells, 5 stars.
Was he? I'm guessing he was an Elder Cunningham at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was also
would.
the friend in Invincible.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah,
It's
he's
also
doing good.
He's James in Team Rocket, the Pokemon Live.
He's also Wizard the White, as Andrew once
You
put
might
it.
remember him as James from Team Rocket, but you also might have seen him as James from Team Rocket.
All right. Bree?
Is it wrong to say Mewtwo is kind of hot?
Dummy thick, would you say? Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal?
It's never wrong.
I mean, I don't have to answer that question, thankfully, so I'm gonna go 5 stars.
That's a 5-star.
Ooh, Garrett, we got to come back. We got
I
to come
know.
back.
I'm letting you down.
Here it is. You know what you did. That's the full review.
You're supposed to help him.
That doesn't help him. That's an unhelpful one.
You know what you did.
You know what you did.
I don't know what they did. Gosh dang. I'm gonna call that a 5.
That is, I forget. That is, oh, where the fuck was it? God damn it. Oh, it's a 1.
No!
All right, Bree.
You know what you did.
I know what I did.
Andrew, I don't know. Do I want to give you an easy one or a hard one?
Give him a hard one. You've been giving him softballs all night.
Okay, sorry. What the fuck?
It is a Pokemon thing, so I mean, they might want that. That might be the reaction they were looking for. No, I'm going with the gut. 1 star. 1 star.
It's a 5-star, my man.
Wow.
All right,
See,
Garrett.
you can't tell. It's just a guess.
You ready?
I'm prepared.
My mom fell asleep during Pikachu's vacation.
Fair. Well, it's his mom who fell asleep. I'm gonna call that a 5-star.
That's a 1-star.
Sure.
All right, Brie, let's do 2 more.
All right.
I feel like I'd have negative dollars on Jeopardy at this point.
You ready?
Yeah.
Terrible movie, but I love it anyway.
No, don't do this.
That's the ultimate letterbox review.
Terrible movie, but I love it anyway. So, are they ranking it on how good the movie is, or are they ranking it on how much they liked it?
I can't say.
If I wrote that, I'd give it a 5 stars. So I'm gonna say 5 stars.
The 1 star.
All right, Garrett.
All right.
You ready?
I can narrow the gap a little bit, maybe.
Here I was thinking I couldn't be more depressed after watching a film when I saw Manchester by the Sea. Boy, I was wrong.
What?
That was Pokemon 3, by the way.
Okay, that's the best one. So I'm gonna call that a 5-star.
It's still a 1-star.
Who gives a 1-star review to Pokemon 3?
This guy.
It's Letterboxd. They're not humans.
Take me to this person. That's the best one, debatably. It's either that one or it's movie 21.
I think there's like squirrels or something writing these reviews. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know who writes reviews on Letterboxd, but I will say they are either the horniest thing or like the most vile stuff. I cut out a lot of like, oh, that's just bad. Can't read that.
How many of them were for the movie Pokemon Rangers? Like, I want May to be my mommy.
Here's one that we didn't read. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Ash's mom is so hot. No, why is Ash's mom so hot?
She gotta look good for Mr. Mime, yo.
But they proceeded
And
to give it a
Giovanni.
1 star.
That was a 1 star.
This movie makes me feel things about Ash's mother. I'll not have it.
Incredible.
He was
Absolutely batshit from the word go. 5 stars. Letterboxd is an insane cesspool of the best people.
I still can't get over, did I just watch Butler put Jirachi in a milking machine?
I didn't know what those words meant, but I figured you would. So,
Oh, yeah.
on that note, how about we go into a mid-show, and then we'll talk more about this insane E-Pants show.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the show, but we've got to at you. Andrew, tell us a little bit about Patreon.
Patreon is where you can go if you'd like to donate to us and get some extra perks. You can, request what shows we cover. You can get access to extra content, all sorts of cool stuff.
But if you pay our highest tier,
Oh,
you
Lord.
can write an entire paragraph that we have to read every week. And one of our highest tier patrons is Joseph Evans Green, who sent us this paragraph that I am going to read verbatim, as requested. There's a star man. He plays in blue and white. His name's Yori Tilemans, and he's dynamite. Wilfred Nitty, he'll take the ball off you. And finally, ooh, Jamie Vardy. Ooh, Jamie Vardy. And adieu. All right, our current patrons are Melissa Goldman, Terry Needleman, John Donna, Leighton Ackles, Danielle Renix, Jessica Stampede, and Cassidy Taskier, Monica Thoreau, Mina Maniri, Brent Black, Haley Murray, Nathaniel Stacy Coombe, Joseph Evans Green, Carrie Ahern, Mary Lou Choquette, John Vanals, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Tablam, Kyle Summers, Jen AC, Scootin' the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Liz Lim, Allison Steller, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Thespian, Ren Cullen, Wait in the Wings, Rafael Martinez Salaz, Robert Benjamin, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, Chai Teacup, Katie McDonough, Timothy Keys, Jeffrey Machado, Chris Marcotte, Tamimu Robinson, Kiji Marie Anastasio, Layla, RJ Norija, Sebastian Canino, Avon Regan, Charlie B, Patrick Deering, Courtney Schreiner, Joe, Avery Brinson, Marilyn Brown, Mel Cormick, LaFemme Fictionale, Bjorn Hermans, August Gorman, Mac the Knife, Erica S., Toriana Vestal, Sammy the Most Lopez, Lyanna Morton, and Digo Kova. They all give us a little financial support that helps us keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. And if you want to become like them, you can see our wonderful faces at literally any tier. You can see the video episodes of this podcast, and you can see Garrett's wonderful face. He's doing backflips. Oh my God! Oh, he's rocking out on an air guitar. Look at him. Oh no,
Oh my God, he's
Garrett,
going
put
for
that
it.
away. That's bad. You can't put that on the internet. But how about you join us over at Patreon? All right, let's get back to the show. So these songs for this show, we usually go like song by song, we talk about them individually. I don't think this show really works for that, but I do want to generally talk about the songs in this show. Does anyone have a favorite or anything like that really stands out to
I
them
have
as
a
like
favorite.
that? What's your favorite, Andrew?
One World. I don't know what the
One
song's
World.
actually called, but that One World song is amazing.
I believe it's called You and Me and Pokémon.
Yeah, Andrew.
I've got the greatest friends that ever could be found. Across every river, behind every tree, on top of every mountain, they're a part of you and me. One world, now and forever, best friends, loyal and true. One dream, side by side, there's nothing we can't do. One hand, helping the other reach heart, beating as one. We live, always together, sharing the same bright sun. One world, you and me and Pokémon.
It's amazing. I love it so much.
Does it fill you with a magic feeling that's going so strong?
Yes, absolutely.
And does it always take you to the place where you belong?
100%.
Oh my
It's like what is it? It's
We
like
Are the World?
We Are the World.
Yep. but it's just Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pokemon is the world, Andrew. It ruled the world for about 20 years.
It's so cheesy and it's oh my God, I can't even believe it.
Thank God it's them instead of you.
You thought you were done with Christmas music, but not today.
It's so amazing that it's in there and they play it like twice at least, maybe 3 times. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's. I know they reprise it for the wrap up.
Yes.
I think it's even better at the end because you just watched Mecha Mewtwo like learn how to love and explode
And then die.
and
Commit
die.
suicide, you know.
Yeah, to save everyone though, and then they're just back into it. We are the world.
We call that the Holdo maneuver.
It's really great. It's just absolutely phenomenal song. I don't even know. I was laughing so hard.
Well,
when that
the
came
thing
up.
is, for the opening number, which is where it's big, they bring in all these beautiful-looking Pokemon puppets and costumes. And then they never show up again.
They show up
They're
again at the
gone.
end. They show
Well,
up at
it's
the
even
end
like
again.
it's like have a guy come out and he's got a carousel and there's like a statuette that you'd see in a McDonald's play place on said carousel of a Pokemon. Like, whoa, kids, look at that!
It's Pikachu.
It's Hitmonlee and another one.
Like,
Did they
when
at least get all
when
the names
show-
of the Pokemon correctly? They didn't be like, there's no Alakazam bullshit from the first one, right?
Not to my. As far as I know, they at least got all those right.
Hey, bare minimum 4 kids. Good job.
I think what really got me is that they played like the Pokemon like theme song,
And he dances
like-
in his underwear.
and he dances to it in his underwear, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be what it's gonna be like, huh? They're gonna play like this, and then it just stops, and he's like, oh no, we're actually about to sing this touching ballad about Pokemon.
You and me and Pokemon.
Okay.
Hey kids, you know what you're into? Charity singles.
It is a distractingly confusing opening to the show, where it's like, hey, we got this Johto League, or we got to get this badge or some shit, and also don't forget to go to www.kid4kids like Pokemon to download your free internet that's safe for children or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
You can't even Google Pokemon anymore in a way that's safe for children.
yeah. You can't even Google the number
Too many
34.
horny letterboxd users.
YouTube, be thick as was it potato salad? What was
Bowl of
that?
oatmeal.
There we go. Thank you.
Oh dang.
So Garrett, I tend to like to do this when I know I have musicians that are up for the task. But you and me in Pokemon, I would be very interested to see what that would sound like if you really leaned into the We Are the World side of it. Would you be willing to give us a quick rendition of how you think that might
Oh
sound?
no.
Yeah, let me
Put him on the spot like this.
I warned. In all fairness, I did warn him I would probably do this.
Yeah, let me I'm gonna pull up the lyrics just in case. All right. A magic feeling, it's going so strong.
yes.
Always leads me to the place where I belong. Won't go away, never lets me down. I've got the greatest friends that ever could be found. Across every river, behind every tree, on top of every mountain, they're a part of you and me.
Add a children's chorus underneath it, please. Like,
One world, now and forever, best friends, loyal and true, one tree, side by side, there's nothing we can't do, there's nothing we can't do. That's the cameo from the rapper of the day.
Kanye.
You and me and Pokemon, this bond we got is going so strong. Donate me to Lavender Town, that's where people go when they drown.
Brilliant. Thank you for doing this. This was wonderful.
That was the best thing I've seen all month.
Thank you for the excuse.
That was so fucking good. Thank you for this.
I mean, some of these songs are bangers. They're just in the wrong. They're not written for their target audience, though.
Not at all. This was not made for children.
No.
I think
I don't
that's-
know. Was that one of the ones that was for the show, or was that one of the repurposed ones?
I think that was written for the show, and then
Okay.
repurposed. Speaking of songs that were repurposed and originally for the show and all over the place, there's a song in here that I did not think about for nearly 2 decades, and then hearing it again, it's like, oh no, there's a firing synapse in the back of my head that I didn't know existed, and that is Misty's song.
You look at me, I look away. I wanna tell you what I'm feeling, but I don't know how to start. I wanna tell you, but now I'm afraid that you might break my heart. Why should anything so easy ever be so hard to do? I wanna tell you what I'm feeling and just say that I love you.
So let me tell you a story here. Let me tell you a thing here. In the early aughts, there was this app called Napster, which is somehow trending again on the day we're recording this, which I didn't expect.
You can thank Ice-T for that.
Thanks, Ice-T.
Oh, God.
But Napster, and my mother burnt us a bunch of CDs, and she knew that my brother was generally into Pokemon. So anything Pokemon related would get onto a CD, and one of those songs ended up on one of my CDs. Never heard it before, but it was the Misty's I Want to Tell You How I'm Feeling song. And it mixed in with the rest of the shit on there. And I had heard it so much, and I was like, I wonder where this is from. And then I'm watching this musical yesterday, and then I hear this song that I had not heard in 2 decades, and I'm like, oh no, it was from the Pokemon musical. And somehow it's better as a 90s contemporary rock song than it is as a Broadway ballad.
Here within the quiet of the night.
Because in the context of because that was written for the 4Kids album that they put out along with
That was on the
thing.
CD of just miscellaneous whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and then they just tried to turn it into a musical I Want song for Misty, which doesn't work.
Oh yeah, because the lead-in is, wow, Ash, you look so cute when you sleep or something.
Because everyone else is asleep from Jigglypuff, and for some reason she isn't, or she's dreaming, or something like that.
It doesn't make any sense, and then
And
they
there's
wake up.
there's a pretty solid Mew puppet floating around during that part of it too, but I don't know why Mew is there.
Well, you have to have Eugenics teddy bear flying all around.
Eugenics Teddy Bear is my SoundCloud rap name.
But isn't that true? Isn't he like, hey, clones shouldn't exist because they're not real people. They should be dead.
Yeah, it's something like, I think it's they're impure or whatever.
Purebreds only.
Yeah, and that's Mew showing up at the end of the movie, and you think, oh, the day's saved. No, fuck these clones. You're an abomination.
So cute. So Mew is the original milkshake duck.
Oh my God, you're right.
Remember 2019 memes? Remember milkshake duck?
Oof. All right. All right, let's look at these song lists. I didn't mean to go into that deep dive into my childhood, but it was oh no, I didn't know you were still there.
Wait, we gotta talk about what kind of Pokemon are you?
What kind of Pokemon are you?
The Pokedex comes out and asks us what kind of Pokemon we are.
Well, it's listed here as by Dexter and the Dextets.
Well, that's the Pokedex personified as a human being, Andrew.
Yeah.
I thought you were cultured.
No, I understood. I just wanted to point out to everyone in the out there on the internet, make sure they knew that this was by Dexter and the Dextets.
What kind of Pokemon are you? How do you do the things you do? Share with me your secrets deep inside. What kind of Pokemon are you? Are you loyal through and through? And do you have a heart that's true? What kind of Pokemon are you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Pokemon Masters in the house. Come on, let's raise the roof.
Garrett, since you're the expert, and I do this a lot, which kind of Pokemon do you think all of us are? Me, Bree, and Andrew.
Man, Andrew, with your affinity for ironic enjoyment of things, I think you're Krogunk.
I don't know what that is, but
Exactly.
what type is it?
He's a fighting poison type. That's way late. That's like Gen 4 Diamond and Pearl. But whenever he shows up, it's as a Krogunk is Pokemon's meme lord Pokemon.
All right.
The Lord of Memes.
The Lord of the Memes.
All right, what about Bree?
Bree, trying to suss out the vibes. What are the vibes? That sounded creepy as hell. I apologize for
Oh my
everything.
God. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
What are the vibes?
I feel like it's. I'm zeroing in. It's a later gen. I'm trying to stay at it. Why am I doing this? I was like, I don't want to be basic and just do the original 150. I'm like, but I'm not talking to hardcore Pokemon fans.
I think
here,
she's
so I should be-
Togepi.
I could see you as Togepi evolves into Togekiss, which is a really cool it's a really cool wyvern. I think you're Togekiss actually,
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
because
I like it. Go
Togekiss
look it up.
Oko's Garchomp, which is a badass dragon. So there you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jess, I want to say I want to reserve this for myself because he's my favorite Pokemon, actually. But you remind me of Delibird.
Delibird. Oof.
Delibird is a Santa Penguin.
Oh my god!
And he's my absolute favorite Pokemon.
How do you even spell that? I want to look at a
D-
Santa Penguin.
It's spelled Delibird, but it's supposed to be a pun on delivered.
Oh hell yeah! I love him.
If you look it
Delibird's my
up,
favorite Pokemon.
He's
you
so
only have
weird
to
looking.
scroll
I love
down-
it.
You only have to scroll down a tiny bit, and you get the porn on Google.
No.
Oh, let me type that in. Hold on. Oh, summing results may be. Oh, there it is. Should I share my screen? Or am I
I
good?
think I've already seen this, so I've already been I've been ruined by this already. But if you want to subject the rest of the chat to it,
Why is there like so many of them like milk titty? Okay, I'm done. I can't deal with that.
there's more than one. I've only seen the one.
There's so many, so much porn of this character. Like I literally just typed in Rule 30. So much porn of it. I'm immediately
you
ruined
looked for it.
because now I'm just like, that is me. I am that character.
Now you have the big bap, thanks to Tumblr. You're welcome.
Nice.
So are we Delibird bros?
Delibro.
Delibros.
A flock of Delibird is called a parcel, according to me.
That does make sense.
I follow the logic.
His signature move is called Present, so that's where that comes from. Or is it Present? Oh, based on the fan art, it might be called Present.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, just like Mewtwo. On that note, let's talk about the villain song, which I know is Andrew's usual favorite song, which I actually think kind of rocks. Is It Will All Be Mine,
It will all be mine.
which is Giovanni's big number. It's like a weird rap number where he's like, "It will all be mine in my turpentine," and something like that.
It will all be mine, power so divine. I'll tell the sun to shine on only me. It will all be mine till the end of time. When this perfect crime makes history, Team Rocket. This is our destiny.
They actually do some decent, like, thematic wordplay, because it's, it will all be mine, power so divine, tell the sun to shine on only me. It's like, oh, he's the god of the sun. Or, like, till the end of time, when this perfect crime makes history, like, whoa, time history, they've done the bare minimum of wordplay.
I mean, does Giovanni, like, what happens to Giovanni in the plot of Pokemon? Does he ever, like, really take over the world? Or is he...
No, he goes away. He's mostly just, like... He's the guy that Team Rocket hate to have to call when they're out of money or something. Like, why he doesn't let them go, I don't know.
So is Team Rocket just worthless, right? Team Rocket is... Are they
For the
even a
most
threat?
part. They get competent in later seasons, like when they kind of give them a rebrand, then they go back to being just comic relief. I don't think in the anime, Ash and Giovanni don't ever even properly meet, because Giovanni's supposed to be the leader of the 8th gym, but Ash never fights him, because he's out of town, so instead he fights Team Rocket at the 8th gym.
Okay.
Oh.
Great storytelling, everybody.
Right, and then, there's a straight-to-video sequel to Mewtwo Strikes Back called Mewtwo Returns. Those titles aren't easy to confuse at all.
What about the Mewtwo Strikes Back CG remake? That is...
You know what? I still haven't seen that. I was too. That's where my principles kicked in. It's like it doesn't capture the majesty of the original kind of low budget animation.
Does it capture that dummy thick butt?
But in the straight to video sort of sequel TV special, Ash and Giovanni I think make eye contact briefly and maybe exchange 2 lines, but still no formal introduction.
Man, he'll never meet his father. Was this the only
never will.
really connection Ash has ever had with his father?
Apparently. Unless you go by the headcanon that Mr. Mime is Ash's father.
Is there any confirmation anywhere else that proves that Giovanni is not Ash's father?
Yeah. Have we
Proves
seen
that he's
Ash's
not.
father?
We've not, as far as I know.
So it's technically possible that this is canon.
Yeah. Oh, and again, like, rocks fall, everyone loses their memories, so it could be canon. They just don't remember it.
Man. Hot
That's
damn.
honestly the logic most of the movies operate on anyway. It's like, we don't acknowledge it, but, it could have happened.
If you're gonna make 2,000 movies, you gotta.
It's weird that they decided to start at the end and work their way back.
Well, no, they start with the first movie, then they jump to 2000. Like, we're starting with the first, going to 2000. We'll figure out somewhere in the middle.
We gotta make a lot of movies.
It was like George Lucas is like, okay, I had a whole big story idea, but I was worried I'd only get to make one movie, so I started with episode 4. We wouldn't know if we'd get to make another one.
I wanted to start at the most important one, the 4th one.
So, like, we weren't sure how many more of these we'd get, so we went to the last idea we had.
So what we're saying is Pokemon is just as good as Star Wars.
Obviously.
Yeah. Once Disney starts making the movies, it's gonna get really good.
Pokemon is the most financially successful franchise in the world still, actually.
I believe it. I feel like once the heat death of the Earth finally comes about, we'll still just have like plush Pikachus floating around.
I think my favorite one from the whole show is this was another one that was written for a random CD, but then repurposed for Broadway. It's Two Perfect Girls. It's Brock's 11 o'clock number. Because on the original CD, it's just kind of like a jazzy lounge Vegas kind of thing. But then they give it this classic rock, but also a little bit of blues and gospel makeover.
A one-woman man's what I wanna be. Stay by her side so faithfully. I would if I could, but it's just no good. 'Cause there's two perfect girls for me. Ha ha ha! Alright! Jenny, oh Jenny. Joy, oh joy. A one-woman man's what I wanna be. But there's two perfect girls for me. Oh yeah.
Officer Jenny, oh can't you see? You can lock me up and throw away the key. Oh Jenny, if loving you's a crime, then sentence me now and I'll do my job. Wear my uniform duties, simply the best. She's got my heart under house arrest. But before that cop makes me her boy, I'm head over heels.
He's head over heels.
I'm head over heels for a nurse named Joy. Woo! Jenny, oh Jenny, joy. Oh joy, a one-woman man's what I wanna be. But there's two perfect girls for me.
I don't understand. Is Brock's character trait in the show that he loves women, like all
Yes.
women?
Yeah, that's his whole shtick. Is every town, it's the same cop and the same nurse at the Pokemon Center because they all just look the same and they all have the same names. So he always loves Nurse Joy. He loves Officer Jenny, but also any female NPCs they run into. He also wants to date them as well.
What?
Yeah. He also does all the cooking. Those are Brock's two
Yes.
things. He loves ladies and he knows how to cook.
Yeah.
I know the drying pan.
Yeah, that's the
thing.
meme. That's the meme.
I've seen that.
Featured in the same thing where Ash meets his father. That's from the same DVD special. Yeah.
Wow. So, do you think Pokemon still holds up to this day?
Pokemon Live, do you mean? Or?
No, I mean Pokemon in general as a brand.
There's so much of it, and like the first stretch of the anime I maintain is still really cool because it hadn't fallen into like everything. The different branches of the IP didn't all feel like they had to be aligned. So the anime was willing to take liberties with how, and they still are to a degree, but the anime was willing to play fast and loose with a lot of the rules, like, oh no, that's a ground type. It's it's immune to electric attacks. No, it's not. Pikachu, aim for its horn. So you don't get as much of that anymore. As someone who owns 21 of the 23 movies that are available, some of the movies actually hold up decently. Like Pokemon 3, I still maintain is like it's the best of the bunch. But then like the 21st movie, dear lord, is also actually like it's kind of just a decent anime movie with a couple of asterisks in there.
So they've reached
go
the
ahead.
point where they're like with the MCU an amount of film releases.
Oh yeah, for a while it was one movie every year. They've kind of fallen off of that, I think now, but
Jesus. Like, and you've
How
watched
does-
them all? Like,
Except the Mewtwo Strikes Back remake and the most recent one, Secrets of the Jungle.
are they
is the
still
most recent
two-dimensional,
one.
though? Are they still, like...
Yeah, they're still 2D.
Okay, except for the Mewtwo remake. For
And Detective Pikachu.
And Detective Pikachu.
But that's an American thing. Like, that was not a...
I mean, it's still Pokemon. Though,
I mean,
isn't it?
yes, but that wasn't made by, like, the anime company, I don't think.
Nah, just I thought I had an. I don't know what I was gonna just.
Wasn't it just
Just,
4 kids? Like,
so-
does 4 kids even exist anymore?
No, 4 Kids. I think they went under a while back. I think they might have come back, but they're not a localization force like they used to be. A couple, I think, like maybe over 10 years ago, they lost the rights to most of the stuff that they were localizing. Pokemon's been with a different. They've had like different voice actors for a while now.
Are they better?
Jess,
Depends on who you ask. I mean, the transition was rough. They eventually, like, fell into it, though. Oh, but that's, like, the actress who you mentioned who was in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. She started voicing Ash in the late 2000s.
Gotcha. All right, what were you saying, Andrew?
I have a question. Is this the only anime musical to hit Broadway?
No, Death Note, the musical, but probably the only one to hit Broadway. Do we consider Spider-Man an anime?
No.
Spider-Man is a tokusatsu show.
Do we consider Little Orphan Annie an anime? Or a
Obviously.
manga?
No.
Do we consider,
A manga?
is Jane Eyre an anime?
I mean, well, let's go into this. Les Mis has an anime of the entire novel.
Really?
Les Miserables Shoujo Cassette. I've watched all of it. It is pretty good.
I'm pleased to know that exists.
It's
But
very,
is there
very
any
good.
songs, though?
No songs, but Javert does live in the end because they can't show suicide. So he
Was the Death Note show, was that a Japanese production?
yes, that was Frank Wildhorn, Broadway composer that we all know and hate, was commissioned.
So when
to
are
do,
we covering that?
It has been requested numerous times, but never by Patreon. So we'll see about it this Halloween. Maybe we'll bring Garrett back to force him to watch Death Note the musical.
I'm down.
I'm not watching Death
I've already
Note.
watched the Netflix movie.
Because it ain't good. Probably not.
Strokes of it were okay. It was overall just flawed and unfocused
Well, now I gotta
and
look.
pissed off fans.
Anime Broadway musicals. It is a suggestion. Oh my
It looks
god.
like there's a lot of them.
I know because over there's like a Star Kid style production team where they just like, all right, we're making a Bleach musical now. All right, now we're doing Prince of Tennis, but those are always very low budget.
So it doesn't look like there's a ton of them, but there are a couple. Like the Death Note musical is on here. My Hero Academia had a musical apparently.
Sailor
surprising.
Moon.
Sailor Moon, multiple musicals
that'd be a-
apparently.
Yeah. My
If
Hero
anything's gonna lend
Academia.
itself well to the format.
Naruto.
We gotta do we have to do like an anime month or something at some point.
And a month. Maybe if I get enough people that like want to talk, because I don't know shit about anime. It is a big blank spot of my
Neither do
cultural
I. That's gonna be
appreciation.
why it's such a good episode for us to do. Because
I'll
I've
let-
never seen one.
I'll let Jacob swap with me.
Oh, that would be fun.
He'll be good at that.
So My Hero Academia, it is like really one of the most important shows ever.
He would
If you
probably
think
say
about it.
not, but
If it gets a musical.
But a musical version. That's it.
Yeah.
That's gold.
I mean, arguably as the latest, stepping as the latest capstone of shonen anime of the genre, it shows the next evolution of the tropes and blah blah.
Oh god.
that's how it'd go.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually, I can't wait because we're gonna get so many comments of like,
Can't it be our Hero Academia?
obviously you guys are not Pokemon fans. I made it 2/3 through the episode, and I'm rating you 1 star on iTunes because it's obvious y'all didn't do your research.
this is a real review we're gonna get now, Jess.
Yes, it is 100% a real review we're gonna get.
No,
They
but it'll be a
didn't know.
5-star review. But it's also going to talk about like friggin' I was trying to think of a thirsty phrase, but that's Jigglypuff more like
Jiggly balls.
Jiggly Miss D's nuts. There we
I feel
go.
like
That note,
there's
what is our
nothing more
overall
to
thoughts
say.
on Pokemon Live and our cheese ratings? Garrett, are you aware of our cheese ratings?
I'm aware of the cheese ratings.
Okay, but I'm gonna throw it to Andrew first. Give you some time to think about yours.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is a disaster. It's an absolute terrible piece of shit. But It's very funny. So you should all watch it. Go check it out. You'll love it. It's really funny all the way to the end. But it's also just awful. So I'm gonna give it sharp American cheese, which is something that I just looked up and realized exists. Because I think sharp cheese is generally good, but American cheese is generally bad. So you just put them together, and there you go.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, Garrett,
Well
you're
done.
up.
I'm gonna give this a solid wheel of moo cheese from the Johto region.
Okay.
Because
Of course.
it's like, because I'll take cheese, but when you tell me it was made from the milk of Miltank's udders, it's like,
Did they put
why you
just
gotta-
put Jirachi
just
in
put
a
'em in the milking machine?
yeah, there we go. This is cheese made from the Jirachi milking machine, actually. That's way better. It's like,
cheese
what did
ratings.
I just watch?
I can't wait until people like Il Neige's friends and family are like, "Oh, he's gonna be on a podcast." And, oh, I was talking about Pokemon.
Talking about
And then
milking machines and Miss D's nuts.
Oh god. Okay, can we
Got
pause
him.
for a quick second? She's 10 years old, and every photo I found of Misty on like the official Pokemon websites, she is like in a bathing suit and the shortest shorts I've ever seen. Like, what are you doing, Japan? She's 10.
I was about to say in the original Japanese, Ash and Misty are supposed to be 13, but that's not better.
Not
It's
bad.
not better.
She is very obviously sexualized in basically every form of like digital media I've seen of her, and it makes me very uncomfortable.
Yep.
Didn't we just watch a show where she's singing about how much she loves Ash?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
her 10-year-old crush, I guess.
She's talking about being here in the quiet of the night. He gets close, he turns away.
She's watching him sleep.
They're on the road together, like, night and day. When do they shower? When do they use the
Where-
bathroom?
Where is their mother to drive them to these gyms? Like, what is
They're
going on here?
walking. They're walking through the woods.
Why?
They're getting their steps in, catching bugs.
I'm glad that
Not a
Brock
cell
is the
phone in
mature
sight, the
adult, the
good
one
old
that
days.
basically assaults women on sight.
He's the mature one. Yeah, he's the guardian.
All right, you can go as long as you take Brock with you. All right, guys.
Let's go find some chicks.
I gotta step out of this episode for a bit, Ash. I got some stuff to do.
After a
Actual
turn some
dialogue.
videotapes.
I've got to return some videotapes.
Brock is basically one step away from being Patrick Bateman.
Watch. Ash is Brock is Ash's father.
Nope, I'm not even touching that. I can't
Not
wait for the
touching that
well
one.
actuallys or my childhood is ruined because of this episode. It's gonna be great. I love it. I
All
love
right,
it.
Jess, what is your cheese rating?
No, Breeze first.
Oh, Breeze first. Okay.
Yes, Andrew, don't forget about me. First, before I give my cheese rating, I would just like to let you all know that I found Sailor Moon, the musical, on YouTube, so we could all watch it, and I
can't
would
wait.
enjoy that. But my cheese rating, because I know that I said that I liked when you guys like things, and like I think it's very nice, like our last episode. I like this even better. When we have when we talk about fun niche shows like
Talk
Pokemon
mad
Live,
shit.
and we have awesome guests. So
Yes.
I'm going to give this a Baby Bell cheese because I like Baby Bell cheese, and it's round like a Pokeball.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that's a
you.
great one. This show was a ride. It was an intense watch. I had a blast watching it, though. I'd had much more fun talking about it with you, though, Garrett. And like, this was a lot of fun. So
I don't know if having context helped, but
It did,
now
and it
you have
also
it.
made my life a lot better. So the only thing I can really give this as a cheese rating, or at least the only thing I want to give this as a cheese rating, is Pokemon mac and cheese. As you can see in this screenshot I am sharing with
cheesiest.
you, it is the cheesiest. I did eat this, and it does get stuck in your teeth because the shapes aren't quite right, and no one ever cooks it just enough. So it's just basically like eating garbage.
damn.
Garrett, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time. I hope this was fun for you.
I had a fantastic time. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Promote all your wonderful content for the world to see here.
So I am songwriting my way through the Pokedex right now. It is slow going, but I just did a song about Bidoof, everyone's favorite useless beaver Pokemon, Bidoof. So if you want to find my songs on YouTube, I perform under the name Il Neige. That's ILNEIGE. It's French. Or you can search the phrase Rock That Pokemon, and you can find my songs that way.
Mm-hmm. And I always like to recommend a specific video that I think will hit the funny bone of my audience, which I like to pretend I know a good amount. And I feel like this hits the Pokemon line as well as the general knowledge line perfectly. So I recommend looking up the video for Look at This Pokesnap. I don't remember the original song, but it's the "Look at this photograph."
Yeah, it's my parody of Photograph by Nickelback about Pokemon Snap.
It is so fucking good. You also have done a lot of other covers. Like, I think you've worked with Dom Noble on, like, The Witchers. Like, you did a cover of that, if I'm correct.
Yes, I also, I'm Dom's own personal bard, so whatever book, Dominic Noble, who hosts Lost in Adaptation, whatever book or movie he's talking about, he has me do little jingles for him for his end credits, so I'll either do parodies or kind of loose sound-alikes of songs that I can force to be relevant to the book.
You do incredible work. We're so glad to have you. We can't wait to have you back on again.
I'm ready for Death Note. Just let me know when.
I'm waiting for the cover of You and Me and Pokemon to come out.
You
wait.
and me and no, literally, if you do that, like I will be so happy. If you do any covers of any songs from this, I know Jonathan Young did a cover of Misty's song, which is weird.
Did he?
Yes.
Of course he did.
I can't think of any other covers you might want to.
The quiet of the night. The guy with that beautiful baritone voice.
It was a weird choice, but then I listened to it and I was like, this works. This is fine.
It does.
In fact, Bree, would you mind playing at the end of this episode, just so other people can get a taste of it, Look at This Pokesnap. Just play the whole song at the end of this. Promote the amazing work of one Garrett Snook so that everyone can get a good listen.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know who else appreciates it? Our wonderful patrons. Thank you guys for listening. Please follow us on iTunes, Spotify, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher at Musicals with Cheese. We're on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals, Patreon Musicals with Cheese, Instagram Musicals with Cheese, YouTube page Musicals with Cheese. We have a patron-only podcast called Patreon with Cheese, where me and Liz Eston talk about a bunch of cool stuff. Email us at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com. Our title card was created by the amazing Jolene Casco on Instagram at Jolene Casco. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. Thank you for keeping track of all of our cheese ratings, because God knows I wasn't going to do it. This show is produced by the incredible, the wonderful, one of my favorite human beings in the entire world, Brianna Jones. And our theme songs were created by Robin Nash of IOU Music UK. Go send her some love. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on the platform and for not kicking us off for talking so much shit about Bulbasaur. All right, you guys. I don't think we even brought up Bulbasaur once this entire episode.
He's such a good boy.
No, he's a bastard. I'll fight him. Send me out there. I'll fight this Poke battle.
We'll discuss this in the DMs.
Just learn how to love, okay, and then self-destruct.
I have learned to love, and the boy is right. Time to die. I'd rather be dead than deal with all this. All right. Garrett, anything you have left to say before we wrap this up?
Sorry, I was like, I've got a Pokemon meme ready to go for this, and I don't, apparently. You always remember that your trusty frying pan doubles as a trusty drawing pan.
And on that note, we'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese.
Look at this Pokesnap, a Bulbasaur taking a nap. For a sec I thought he was dead, till I threw an apple at his head. Professor called me one day, gave me a camera and a tank, said I needed to document an island full of fire-breathing pets. So many new Pokemon I haven't played since 151. Don't think I've ever heard of Bouffalante. And when the hell did talk get so hot? I guess I'll go and explore Too bad this lens can't zoom in more. I can barely see from that far. Oh, how the hell was that one 4 stars? Oh, come on, just get closer. Every creature here could murder me with one blow. How was any of this sanctioned for a 10-year-old? And now survival is my mantra. Don't die, don't die. Around every corner there's another surprise, like a slacking looking at me with its bedroom eyes. This leery ape, I can't escape it. God, why? God, why? Now I'm starting to see that everything revolves around me. I thought it sounded a bit absurd until I made friends with this bird. Hey, look, it's Meganium. Let's get some pics for my Instagram. I'll bust out of this creative rut by putting sunglasses on its butt. Professor said it'd be neat if Magikarp and Pidgeot could meet. I'd be happy to grant his wish. Hey, wait, did I just murder that fish? Oh, God, why? I'm a monster. I'm harassing wild animals with fresh fruit, 'cause the way that they react is just so freaking cute. Oh, no, it's angry, now it wants me to die, to die. Who's the psycho that decided it would be fun, wreaking havoc on the local ecosystem? I'm feeling ill 'cause I'm the villain. Todd, why? Todd, why? Look at this Pokesnap. I bet you're wondering how I captured that. Please don't ask me how I captured that.